It was spawned from a tree called the survivor tree. It was found in the rubble around Ground Zero right after the attacks, brought back to life, and now every year saplings from that tree are donated to cities who have suffered their own losses. 2 saplings were given to the city of Las Vegas. One is planted at Fire Station 5 and another at Police Memorial Park in memory of those we lost in 1 October. Las Vegas Fire and Rescue Station 5 has become the place where we gather each year on 9/11 to fulfill our promise to never forget the attacks on our country. So it was only fitting a tree donated by New York City finds a home here as well.
The significance is that this tree that we're going to plant today comes from the 9/11 tragedy, and it's the symbolism is it's to unite us and to hopefully heal us together.
Maggie ALLRED said she just had to be here to watch as this tree was planted. You see, she has family connections to the company that is responsible for bringing back to life the tree now known as the survivor tree, a tree barely clinging to life in the rubble surrounding the World Trade Center after the attacks of 9/11.
They gave it to arborists, Bartlett tree experts in Stamford, Connecticut, to nurture and see if they could bring that back to life, which they did. And they worked in conjunction with a school in New York City that specialized in agriculture and arborism. And so they've brought the tree back to life. They have many, many saplings in their lab in North Carolina.
Each year, some of those saplings are donated to communities across the world that have suffered their own tragedies, such as Sandy Hook Elementary School following the mass shooting in December of 2012, and New Orleans following the devastation of Hurricane Katrina in August of 2005.
And so when we had our shooting on 1 October, I reached out to Bartlett tree experts and asked if they would put us on their list. Unfortunately, there is a list these days of tragedies around the world.
The 2 saplings came to Las Vegas measuring only about 1 foot in height and under the watchful eyes of Bradley Dossler and Stephen Glimp in our Parks and Grounds Maintenance Division here at the City of Las Vegas. This is how it looks today.
Hi, Maggie.
How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you,
Maggie.
Steve. We've talked a lot on the phone.
Nice to meet you. No, it's grown so much. It's done really well. So
Good
we're
job
excited.
taking care of it.
Yeah.
Bradley says this calorie pear tree is not really indigenous to our dry, hot weather, but he and Stephen and others at the city nursery have gone to great lengths to make sure it and the other donated sapling thrived.
It's a relief. We're excited to have it in the ground and for the community to be able to enjoy it. So, yeah, like you said, we've been watching over it for 2 years, but it's good to have it in its final home.
For those here on this day watching it go into the ground, it was actually emotional, knowing from where it came and what it represents.
It's a big deal. I mean, we plant a lot of trees for the city, but this one has a lot of unique significance, and yeah, it is. It's a meaningful event.
Sadly, we're united in a tragedy, but nevertheless, we're connected. We're connected with other human beings that are sharing that experience. And the trees that are now planted at the World Trade Center are from the sapling. So life goes on.
The second tree donated to Las Vegas was planted at Police Memorial Park and was part of an annual ceremony held on September 11th by the Las Vegas 1013 Club. The club is comprised of retired New York City police officers. 1013 stands for the call that goes out to first responders when a fellow officer is in need of emergency assistance. Before gathering at the tree, the colors were posted by Cub Scout Pack 149, the national anthem was sung, and the familiar and somber sounds of the bagpipes drifted through the air. Mayor CAROLYN Goodman was among the many city leaders attending the ceremony.
Ghastly visions never to be forgotten, of loss so enormous as to be truly incredulous, of the totality of innocent people caught in moments frozen for us, no ability to escape, leaving us in the world in shock and devastated.
Mayor Pro Tem Stavros Anthony, a retired officer with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, represents Ward 4, where the Police Memorial Park is located.
This is fitting that we have this event at Police Memorial Park to remember the men and women in uniform 20 years ago who risked their lives and died in the line of duty during a terrorist attack.
The ceremony ended with the release of blue and gold balloons, and then those in attendance gathered around the survivor tree to throw the final dirt on this symbol of resiliency and strength.
These trees will help us never forget all those police officers and firefighters and fellow countrymen we lost on that terrible day.
It's hard to believe these saplings were like this tall when they were given to the city of Las Vegas, but as you can see, they were nurtured and they are absolutely beautiful now and will continue to be well taken care of.